The club was founded in 1887 by Dr. Laidlaw Purves, who was a mad keen golfer inevitably, and he was searching for somewhere to establish a links course, some people say to rival St Andrews in England, and he came across this tract of land here and thought that would make an amazing links course, and so he actually developed it, and they started in 1997, and the first Open was held here in 1887,
okay.
and the first Open was held here in 1894, so very soon afterwards. I think they had the amateur before that. So the course inevitably has developed over the years. I hope in character it hasn't really changed that much, and certainly the basic layout of the course has remained very much the same over the years, which is, I think, a fairly good accolade to his initial design, probably. We've had 13 Open Championships. This is number 14 coming up. I happen to be the 13th secretary of the club, so I arrived in time for the 13th Open, which was quite good. We've had an equal number of amateur championships, and virtually every other sort of recognisable amateur event that you could hope to host. And so the club is a very prestigious, established private members club, and to my mind is extremely special in that it has really an ethos almost of its own. Open coming up, we've actually changed relatively little. We've added 100 or so yards to the length of the course, so it's now over 7,200 yards long. So there's 5 new championship tees. We now have 2 short holes that are nearly 240 yards long, in different directions, and we have 2 other short holes that are rather more normal short holes, 160 to 180 yards long. And obviously on a course like this, the wind is a major factor in how the course plays, and because of the layout, nearly every hole faces in a different direction. So whenever you're playing it, you're faced with a different set of circumstances almost every time you play it, and that really does test the distance, judging the distance of the shots and the allowances you have to make for the wind. So we hope during this coming Open there'll be a reasonable wind, and that it will change direction from time to time, which is it has a habit of doing. So apart from new tees, we've adjusted 1 or 2 fairways. The last Open, the statistics for fairways hit on the 1st, the 17th and the 18th were pretty low percentages. And so we've moved a couple of fairways a little bit, and also widened them slightly, which should give a better landing area. But again, it's selection of club off the tee. You don't necessarily want to bang it a mile down the middle. You want to put it in the right place. So we've adjusted fairways. The 18th is the one hole where probably we've made the biggest change. We've put in a couple of new bunkers on the left. We've moved the fairway to the right to improve the landing area if you hit it in the right direction. And we've adjusted the bunkers slightly in front of the green to provide a little bit more of a challenge in the approach to the green. So I think now it's a pretty good finishing hole really, and normally into a little bit of a breeze if the wind is prevailing. It should provide an excellent test, I think. We very much welcome visiting golfers here. We are a private members club, and therefore it is restricted to members and their guests at weekends, but during the week of course we very much like to see visitors.